What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost. Today I want to talk about something that I've seen a lot of people speculate about over the past day or so, about the end of Chapter 5 of The Mandalorian. Now, this will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I wouldn't watch. It's not really big spoilers, just about the ending. And to me, I think that it's funny that we're sitting here again at this time talking about a character, talking about possibly bringing them back, and that is Boba Fett. Now, like I often talk about in Rise of Skywalker, you had this whole group of people that in 2014, when the expanded universe got swept aside so they could continue out their own thing, said, oh, thank God we don't have to deal with that anymore. Look at all these stupid stories. One of them was, they said, bringing Palpatine back as a clone, right, in Dark Empire. Another one was Boba Fett, right? That's the one that people said, oh, it didn't make any sense that Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc. And if you've read about Boba Fett in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, he is an amazing character. Of course, he's a badass, right? But he ends up gaining so much depth. You get to learn about his family. You get to learn about his wife, his daughter, his granddaughter, about his legacy as a leader of the Mandalorian people. And you know, that's a great thing about the Star Wars Expanded Universe, right? They take these characters that have a small role, even though people love Boba Fett in that small role, and you expand upon that and you give them depth, and people care about them so much. Now, when Disney bought Star Wars, that's one of the first things that was rumored, a possible Boba Fett movie or TV show, and I was all on board for that until 2014, when they said, no, we're not using that anymore. But I wanted to go ahead and show you that people are speculating after that last episode about a character being teased. I mean, Hollywood Reporter, this is a CBR article, so of course it is archived because that's what we do to CBR articles. Hollywood Reporter just said it appears iconic character has returned. They're like not even saying we're really speculating about it. But here's what they say. The 5th episode in Disney Plus season ends with someone approaching the lifeless body of Fennec Shand, Ming-Na Wen, and it sure seems like that someone is none other than the most fearsome bounty hunter in the galaxy, Boba Fett. The first clue? Well, first and foremost, the spurs. Now, it is true that Boba Fett had spurs, and you can see in this article they go and explain that it was basically something, because George Lucas said they wanted this character to kind of be like Clint Eastwood, and so they ended up giving him spurs. Now, is that just to make it sound cool? Are they useful? I'm not going to speculate and try to answer those questions, but I want you guys to see what they're talking about and why people are saying that. So this is from The Mandalorian right here. Let's take a listen. There you go. So that's the thing that people are talking about. Now, as you can hear, he clearly has spurs. He does have a cape, so that's why people are saying it. Let's take a look, just so you can get a good comparison. Let's listen here.
Join us. He's no good to me dead. He will not be permanently damaged.
There it is. So you can clearly hear those spurs that they're talking about. Got a lot of people talking. I've also heard people speculate more about just Pedro Pascal's character of the Mandalorian being Boba Fett because he knows how to talk to those Tusken Raiders like he did in that episode. Could be someone who had to spend a lot of time on Tatooine. That's what some people are saying too. I don't know. Listen, here's what Jon Favreau said. Listen to what Jon Favreau said. This was, months ago when asked about The Mandalorian and about Boba Fett. Now, these guys have lied to us before. They said that this show is not going to have nothing to do with the Force. In the second episode, we see a Force feat from an infant, right? The Yoda species is a story that I assume has to be told. I thought that maybe that's what this show is going to be about, and then past couple episodes, it's literally just been about nothing. So, I don't know, maybe they won't explore the Force at all, but it sure seems like they're going to have to, at least a little bit. This show has the Force in it in some way. Let's listen here to this question and his answer, his definitive answer.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, will he be in The Mandalorian?
Boba Fett is not, they're all new original characters. And I might add a time frame that there's a 30-year stretch of story time that hasn't been explored at all, except in the extended universe.
The
Expanded universe, bruh. Expanded universe. But that's all right. Not surprised you didn't get it right. Yeah, and then they taught. So this article, we hear Jon Favreau right there. He said very definitively, Boba Fett will not be in this. That doesn't mean that it's true. Obviously, if someone asked me that question, that was supposed to be a huge spoiler, then I would probably lie as well. So, I mean, you can't really blame him for that. But yeah, then they go on to say that people were disappointed. People were a little disappointed with his death in Return of the Jedi. In some versions of the story, the character is left horribly scarred. Those books are no longer canon, followed Disney's purchase of Lucasfilm in 2012. So, Mandalorian would mark his first appearance post-Jedi. That is very, very true. And then I wanted to find, I thought I had seen a quote somewhere. So here we go. Here's this quote. This is in that archived CBR article. Recently asked whether Mandalorian could feature appearance by Boba Fett, Dave Filoni, who wrote and directed that episode that we just saw. I don't know if that's anything to brag about, based on my feelings on that episode, replied that he doesn't like to limit storytelling possibilities. It'd be really hypocritical for the guy that helped bring Darth Maul back, which ruins death in Star Wars, to say that someone can't survive a Sarlacc pit. Absolutely. And it, it does make sense. A guy who's well armored that goes in there could definitely be able to fight his way out, because you're slowly suggested over years and years, or slowly digested over years and years and years. So it makes sense that someone with sufficient protection would be able to find their way out of there. But I don't think it's Boba Fett. I suppose it could be, but it would not make sense to me for them to put him in here and not make the TV show about him. With all the buzz we have right now about Mandalorian, think of where it would be if it was Boba Fett. I think it'd be absolutely astronomical. It's pretty darn high right now, to be fair, just because it's the only thing that's not absolute dog crap that Star Wars has put out in several years. So that's why people are so drawn to it. You know, when you're used to getting, I saw Steve Kenobi on Twitter put this. He said, when you're used to getting 0s out of 10s, a 5 out of 10 feels like a masterpiece. And that's what I've been saying the entire time about The Mandalorian. But I don't think it's Boba Fett. It would be very strange if he came back and they didn't make him part of this. I know some people will talk about, oh, well, the legacy characters and George Lucas's contract. I don't know about that. I've never seen anything to indicate that that's true, that's anything other than speculation. I'd love it if we could get some definitive answers on that, if George Lucas or anyone else is entitled anything when they use different characters, because I haven't seen anything like that. I know that George Lucas sold it, that he got some of it in stock, and he got some of it in cash. I've never seen anything else about any of his characters being used. I think they have full reign. But let me know what you think. Do you think that this is Boba Fett? Do you think that Boba Fett will appear in the show? I want to know your thoughts. I personally don't think it's him. I think they're just using the spurs because they want to say, well, you know, that's... I don't know if it's maybe because they want to get people speculating, get theories going, or if it's just something that they want to establish that a lot of people have. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think it's Boba Fett? Do you think Boba Fett should come back since he's not actually part of the show? Let me know. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, share this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.